Oslo, Norway. A Saturday evening, June 1995. On the 28th floor of the city's tallest hotel, a security guard steps out of the elevator. Room 2805 owes for 3 nights. No card on file, no ID. He's here to sort it out. He knocks. And at the exact moment his knuckles hit the door, a gunshot goes off on the other side of it. He doesn't open the door. He goes down for help. For the next 15 minutes, room 2805 stands alone, unwatched. No camera in the corridor. When the door is finally opened, there is a woman on the bed and a pistol. And that is the last simple fact this case will ever produce. Because her name is invented, her address does not exist. The labels have been cut out of her clothing, some of them removed stitch by stitch. The serial number has been taken off the gun, and her briefcase contains 25 bullets, and nothing else. Not a coin, not a key, not a name. 31 years later, no country has claimed her, no family has come. She is known only by the name she made up. This is the woman who called herself Jennifer Fairgate. And her story runs on one question: who erases a person this completely? It begins 3 days earlier at the front desk. Wednesday, May 31st. Late evening. Earlier that day, a woman phones the Oslo Plaza. She speaks German. She'll be arriving late, she says. And there will be 2 of them. At around 20 to 11, she checks in, alone. The lock on room 2805 records its first opening at 10:44 p.m. On the registration card, she writes a name: Jennifer Fairgate. The hotel's system will file it as Fairgate. Even the name the world knows her by is a typo. She gives a date of birth that makes her 21. An employer no register has ever heard of, and an address in Verlaine, Belgium, to a real village, with an invented street, an invented postal code, an invented phone number. Every line on that card will collapse under checking. And one more thing, a second guest, Lois Fairgate. No one at the desk sees a second person. No one ever will. The receptionist takes no credit card, no passport, against every routine the hotel has. Years later, staff still can't explain how she walked upstairs without leaving a single document behind. A fake name is one thing, but the lock on her door kept its own diary, and it says something stranger. The key card system logs every entry into room 2805. Across her entire stay, almost 3 days, the door opens 5 times. 5. The system never logs exits, so the log reads like a message with the vowels missing. We know when she came in, never when she left. Thursday, the room stands empty. Housekeeping cleans and sets out a second duvet for Lois. A housekeeper notices a pair of shoes by the luggage shelf. They will never be found. For somewhere between 20 and 24 hours, from Thursday into Friday, the woman from 2805 is simply gone. Nobody knows where. In a city where she knew no one, or where nobody admits to knowing her. From the room, she makes 2 phone calls, both to Belgian numbers that don't exist, each one a single digit away from real numbers near Liège, 17 kilometers from Verlaine. Whoever she was, that region wasn't random to her. Friday morning, she extends her stay to Sunday. Still no card, still no payment. Friday, 8:06 p.m., she orders room service. At 8:23, a waiter hands it over. She tips him 50 kroner, the only money anyone will ever find. He is the last person known to have seen her alive. The Do Not Disturb sign goes up. For the next 24 hours, the only sign of life from room 2805 is a hotel bill nobody intends to pay. answered from inside by someone pressing a button. The hotel wants its money. Reminders go to the television screen in 2805, and they are acknowledged. Someone inside picks up the remote and presses OK. The last acknowledgement, Saturday evening, 7:36 p.m. 14 minutes later, the security guard steps out of the elevator on the 28th floor. He knocks. The shot answers. He doesn't go in. He goes down for the security chief. It takes about 15 minutes. 15 minutes in which the door of 2805 stands unguarded in a corridor with no cameras. At 8:04, they crack the door. A woman lies on the bed, shot through the forehead. A pistol rests in her right hand on her chest, her thumb against the trigger. They close the door and wait for the police, who arrive the better part of an hour after the shot. The door, police report, was double locked from the inside. Both key cards were in the room. A locked room. A gun in her hand. It should be the simplest case in Oslo. Then they started listing what was missing from that room, and it stopped being simple forever. Start with her clothes. Every label has been removed. Some cut clean. Some picked out stitch by stitch. Patient, deliberate work. 2 things survive. 1 label sewn deep into a blazer's lining, and the words "Made in Italy" in her shoes, with the maker's name gone. Now what isn't there? No passport, no wallet, no keys, no money, beyond the 50 kroner tip. No toothbrush, no cosmetics, not one item of a traveler's ordinary life. And in the entire room, no trousers, no skirt. Half a wardrobe for a woman who arrived from nowhere. On the desk, a black attaché case. Inside it, 25 9mm rounds. Nothing else. A briefcase of bullets. With what was in the gun, she came to Oslo, carrying around 34 rounds, and no second pair of shoes. The pistol itself, a 9mm, its serial number professionally removed. Police recover a few digits. Not enough. The gun is never traced. And one detail that cuts the other way. A nearly empty bottle of men's cologne in the room, carrying only her fingerprints. Her prints match nothing at Interpol. Her face matches no missing person report on Earth. The police ruling will come down to one word. But first, the autopsy found something on her hands. Or rather, it didn't. 2 shots were fired in room 2805. The first went through the pillow, through the mattress, into the concrete floor. Between the shots, the pillow was turned over. The second was the one that killed her, as she lay on her back on the bed. The autopsy examined her hands. It found no gunshot residue, no blood, no singeing, nothing on either hand. While across the bed, the spatter had reached the wall and the ceiling. Years later, the chief pathologist would say it was the first time he had ever seen that in a suicide. A retired crime scene investigator would go further. The recoil should have marked her hand. He believes someone else was in that room. The police saw it differently, and they had reasons. Residue isn't always found. Her grip was unusual. The door was locked. The cards inside, the corridor silent. The ruling, suicide. An internal report puts the police's confidence at 99.9%. The case is closed within about a year. And what happens next is the part that even people who accept the ruling struggle with. June 26th, 1996. A grave at Vestre Gravlund Cemetery, Oslo. Unmarked. No ceremony, no family, and because no one knows who her family is. Among the only people standing there, a young newspaper reporter named Lars Christian Wegner. Remember him. About 2 months later, the order comes down. destroy the evidence. Her clothes, her bags, the samples, her ring and her watch are sold at a police auction. A woman nobody could name, and now almost nothing left to name her by. The file goes quiet for 20 years, until the reporter from the graveside comes back, with a shovel, a laboratory, and a question that never let him go. 2016. Wegner, now a veteran at Norway's biggest newspaper, reopens the story with the police's cooperation. In November, her coffin is raised. The evidence was destroyed, but teeth keep records no order can shred. Her DNA, a complete profile at last. European, no match in any database. The isotopes in her enamel. She grew up in Germany, most likely northern Germany, and carbon dating delivers the quiet gut punch. She wasn't around 30 as the autopsy estimated. She was born around 1971. She was about 24. She told the front desk 21. The pathologists said 30. The teeth said, a young woman barely older than the lie on her card. Weapons experts re-examine the gun and conclude the police may have hunted its origin in the wrong country entirely. In 2020, Netflix carries her case around the world. Tips pour in. None of them hold. And that same autumn, a locksmith shows a camera something the 1995 investigators believed impossible. The door of a room like 2805 can be made to look locked from the inside by someone standing outside, which leaves 3 ways to read room 2805. And 30 years on, the people closest to the case still split down the middle. Reading 1, the official one, and it stands to this day. A woman who wanted to die unfound. The locked door, the silence. Every label removed by her own hand, so that no one could follow her back to whatever she was leaving. Suicide. Reading 2, the doubters, and they include people who worked the scene. The clean hands, the thumb on the trigger, a gun without fingerprints, a door that could be faked. They believed the room was arranged. Reading 3, the one a former Norwegian intelligence officer gave on camera, that everything about room 2805 looks like tradecraft. A courier, an operative, an execution. No document has ever surfaced to support it. What no reading explains. Why no one anywhere ever reported her missing. Somewhere, most likely in northern Germany, a family lost a young woman in the spring of 1995. She would be in her 50s now. Norway's laws don't yet allow her DNA into the genealogy databases that have named the nameless elsewhere. The day that changes, this case could end in a week. Until then, she has a grave with no name, a file with no country, and a hotel room that still won't say which story it was. This is the case of the woman who called herself Jennifer Fairgate. This is Dark Atlas,